Did someone ask a Pettis question yet?
How did Pettis jump out? Let's talk about it.
There you
this
go.
Was crazy. It was just happened all day, and we were like, "Is he going to keep having a great day?" And he did. He didn't have any drops. He was perfect.
Nope. MVP, which is weird to say. MVP of training camp. I think that's what I'll personally start doing. Is like, who's the MVP of training camp? Oh, Dante Pettis, man, off top.
This guy was the best player in the field today. Here's how it started. When he was a rookie, he was great in those one-on-one drills, just great. And then he would get in the scrimmages and look a little overwhelmed by footsteps and those kind of things. But one-on-one, he was money. Last year, he couldn't win at all. This year, he's back to winning one-on-one. He roasted Ahkello Witherspoon. And there's like some pictures the 49ers sent out in their pool distribution of him, like Witherspoon 5 yards off. He was doing those real aggressive double move comebacks, and Witherspoon was like, I don't know. So that was cool to see. And then he got 2 passes from Jimmy Garoppolo in team drills. Like, wow, I didn't know Jimmy
knew he was on the team.
I ended up catching 3 passes over the middle, which I'd never think that was going to happen.
No.
I mean, I thought I was literally hallucinating. Like, what?
So I wrote down, I typed in the article. I said, even though I didn't actually like fully do all this stuff, I said I had to go splash some water on my face. I had to ask Grant to come pinch me. I'm like, hey, am I at training camp or am I just dreaming? Or did Dante Pettis actually just make play after play across the middle, in the middle, where he was sitting on a comeback, whether he was spitting someone at the top of his route, which is actually kind of known for him because, all right, you're a great route runner. But what if you have to wait for that ball to get delivered? Because sometimes Garoppolo's a little late on those throws. Like, all right, I'm going to throw it to you, which is why Tavon Austin got cracked today. But Pettis, oh my God, across the middle, he didn't look scared, which is great to have as a wide receiver. If you're scared of going across the middle, scared to get hit just anywhere, because bodies are swarming around there. And he was just poised, like Tiger just trying to get that last little ball in the hole in for birdie or whatever. He just looked calm in demeanor, which is great. But at the same time, a real baller out there, which is just amazing to see from him.
And I think the most important thing with him is that there's no pressure on him this year.
No.
Last year, they put a ton of pressure on him. I mean, there was a lot of pressure on Jimmy. There was a lot of pressure on Kyle going into year 3. He needed a big year. And I think both Jimmy and Kyle were like, well, Dante, you need to be the number 1 wide receiver and step up. And he's like, I'm 24. And I don't know. Maybe I can. And it just was the total wrong approach. They put too much pressure on him and he crashed and burned. This year, he's at the bottom of the depth chart. He's been disrespected left and right. They drafted a wide receiver in round 1 specifically because they don't have confidence in Dante Pettis anymore. And now it's like he's like, well, I'm not that bad. I'm still pretty athletic. Let me show what I can do. And he just stepped up on day 4. I think the Niners have been really smart with how they've handled him.
Just voila. See if he can keep it going on Thursday and so on and so forth. Because if he does, and maybe Debo, go ahead, take a week or 2 off to get healthy.
It's like they tried to tell Dante Pettis, you're good. And he was like, I don't know if you're right about me. And so finally they're like, all right, Dante, you stink. And he's like, I'm going to prove you wrong.
But he doesn't post workout videos, so he can't be legit.
Well, look, the way I look at it is he's now officially competing for a starting job at split end with Aiyuk. Aiyuk played primarily with the backups today, and I'm sure they'll switch off. But Dante Pettis is entering year 3. He should theoretically have a leg up on Brandon Aiyuk. And today we saw that he was the starting split end. The starting flanker was Bourne. I think Bourne has that starting flanker job pretty much wrapped up. I don't think he's even competing with anyone.
No, that's why we barely saw him featured today. It's like, all right, Bourne, we pretty much already know about you. Let's just let's give other people other reps because we're sure about you. We're not sure about these other guys. And I don't want, God forbid, an injury to you happen. And it's like, great, I gave you all those reps. Meanwhile, Pettis is coming in and had like 10 reps in training camp. Now they can say, all right, we actually tried with the other players.
Yeah, and I want to answer a question now about Brandon Aiyuk if someone's asked it, because it's interesting to compare Aiyuk and Pettis. So I'm just going to do it. Ayuk's a better athlete than Pettis, stronger, faster. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, he's top.
No question. But Aiyuk today, he had that one play where there was like a screen to him and he messed it up, like with the timing the ball went over his head. You can just see that he's a rookie. Excellent athlete, but I'm not so sure that he's going to necessarily start week 1 because you can see a little bit of him he was better Saturday and Sunday than he's been the last 2 days. And it's not because all of a sudden he's not getting open. It just seems like he's thinking a lot.
Yeah, and I probably maybe he's putting a little more pressure on himself. Like, all right, I gotta keep it going, gotta keep it going. But it's like, hey, you're a rookie. This is where you want to have your mistakes. And it's not like if you had a bad camp or two that all of a sudden they're gonna be like, oh no, we messed it up. Like, no, you're a rookie. You didn't have any OTAs or any summer activity with us. There's no preseasons. Now it's gonna be, I still think it's gonna be the same thing where it's going to be a slow come up versus, I know you said like, oh, the workload's going to be thrown at him, but probably for him to actually start to sprout and flourish and look good, still going to take a little bit of time. I could be wrong. He could very well just ball out because he did look good. And then today he wasn't really such a highly focal point, but still there's some plays where I saw where we beat Mosley on a nice zig route, just goes inside, fades inside, Hezzy's turns it around, easily rips off 10 more yards. So he looks like a good, like Swiss Army knife.
No doubt. Like what I think he's really good on the short routes, the slants, quick stuff like that. And they seem to be using him on jet sweeps and end arounds. So the same way they use Deebo Samuel, basically.
Yeah. So it's a little weird. So weird for those short routes, especially because, you figure like a bigger guy like that, you wouldn't really want, just have him go cut in 4 yards and turn around. But he's still very valuable against yards after the catch and put the ball in his hand. And what does everyone always tout about him? Size, his frame, his freaking wingspan is crazy. So seeing that, they're just throwing the kitchen sink out at him, and I think they're just gonna keep pounding him until, hey, we just gotta get you ready and see if somehow he balls out within early in the season.
Yeah, and eventually I think the plan for him is to be the starting flanker and to take over for Kendrick Bourne and then to move Deebo Samuel over to split end. I think they really, even though Aiyuk isn't big, particularly, he's got those long arms so he can make himself a bigger catch radius, which is important when you're running those digs over the middle, because if the pass is a little high and you have T-Rex arms, then it's an interception. No offense, Deebo Samuel, but that's why you're going to be a split end long-term and not a flanker. So I think that's the vision long-term. But week 1, it could be Dante Pettis and Kendrick Bourne starting. Who knows?